You're back with Bloomberg. My name's Rishaad, Salamat, and you're watching Countdown. Countdown, not just about the European market open today, because we're also counting you down to a first for English football. Portsmouth in the process of becoming the first Premier League club to go into administration after 4 undisclosed buyers failed to prove that they had the funds to buy the club by yesterday afternoon's deadline. The South Coast club has debts of more than £60 million. This includes £12 million owed to tax authorities, but it needs to find £22 million before the end of the season in order to save it. Our very own Ryan Chilcote is live at Fratton Park for us. Ryan, it's a sad day for English football, isn't it?
It is a sad day. Basically, the club was spending more than it had, and Portsmouth has the infamous, dubious honor of becoming the first Premier team since the league's inception in 1992 to go into administration. Certainly not the kind of history that the club's fans were hoping for. On the eve of protection from creditors, Portsmouth Football Club prepares for an uncertain future.
This is a copy of the original proposal for the football club. This dates
Jake Payne is a passionate Portsmouth supporter and a keen historian of the club. He showed me around a room in the back of his home he calls the Pompey Arms, after the club's nickname. It's a passion he shares with his 12-year-old.
It's a massive part of everybody's lives. Don't know what we would do if they were gone.
Portsmouth Football Club has been the pride of this town for 112 years. Its massive debt could bring an end to that, and it's not the only English club that may be in danger. Premiership clubs owe more than all of Europe's top clubs combined. The total debt of the top English teams is just under €4 billion, more than half the total across Europe. That's about 4 times that of the most next indebted top-tier league, Spain's La Liga. But at Portsmouth, the revenue and spending didn't match up.
Why do you think the club is in this situation?
Paid the players too much money. Our gates are roughly 20,000 and we're paying players £40,000 a week. Can't be done.
Portsmouth's players just finished their training, their last before payday. Their goalkeeper will pick up £250,000 for the month. 4/5 the club's revenue goes to paying the players.
Of course, you can imagine. We did a football job here, and every step we couldn't do our job, and now very sad for me, for everybody.
The club's manager has stuck with his team through it all. The Paynes are on a trip down memory lane. It's the FA Cup in 1939. Portsmouth upset their rivals, clinching England's equivalent of the Super Bowl. They, along with all of Portsmouth's fans, are hoping their club can surprise the world again to play another day.
It doesn't take the 100,000 long to find out how wrong the experts can be.
So, Ryan, Pompey going into administration, what does this actually mean?
Yeah, you know, interesting enough, obviously it's a last resort, but it is the lesser of the evils, perhaps, for this club, because if they don't go into administration today, Portsmouth Football Club would almost definitely have gone into liquidation on Monday. The Revenue Service initiated the winding down procedures of the club. The judge was going to rule on Monday, and he may have decided to just rub the club out altogether and have the club disbanded. So at least this way, the owner, who is a secured creditor, he can take his £17 million off the table. The players get paid. They're supposed to get paid £1.8 million. That's their monthly salaries. They're set to get that today. And ironically, it's the Inland Revenue Service that gets paid last. But the club can continue on playing and try and stay alive, although it's not going to be in the Premier League. They're going to be relegated. But at least they're still going. Rish? Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. We're going to just stick with this historic day for probably the wrong reasons for English football, and ask Bloomberg's resident football expert how he thinks Portsmouth got to where it is today, and find out what could be next. Tariq Panja joins us now in the studio. Tariq, we saw our Portsmouth manager there, AVRAM Grant, saying that this is financial difficulty didn't start under his watch and is down to the previous regime. What is that? You know, that doesn't matter, does it, either way?
It doesn't matter either way. This club is in serious trouble, and you can almost chart it back to that glorious day when they won the FA Cup, first title for the team in more than 50 years. Glorious scenes in Portsmouth, thousands of people in the street, but players there were being paid thousands of pounds of salary that the club couldn't afford. This summer, just before the season started, Standard Bank decided they're going to cut an overdraft, 30 million overdraft with Portsmouth. The owner at the time, Alexandra Gaidamak, said he will no longer bankroll the team. And that spiraled down to where we are today.
The problem is, I mean, as Ryan was discussing in that report, these players have paid a lot of money, and that's something which is endemic right across the Premiership. So what other clubs are in trouble here as well?
Well, it's this issue of living the dream or chasing a trophy. In terms of other clubs, I say Portsmouth are quite unique in the level of crisis they've found themselves in, but it is possible for this to happen. The Premier League, we call it the richest league in the world because its revenues are almost £1 billion higher than the next largest league. But really, we should be saying the Premier League players are the richest players in the world because almost every pound of that is going into the Mercedes showrooms and BMW showrooms around the country, right?
Okay. What about the other clubs, though? I mean, they are also under debt. I mean, look, for instance, at Manchester United, and the Glazers putting so much of the company in debt. Also Liverpool as well. What about like, the really big clubs here?
I think in terms of the big clubs, we shouldn't really panic at the moment. I think with Manchester United, they've had sustained success on the pitch. They're still in Europe. They beat AC Milan last week. They're close to the top of the Premier League. And they would say that we've been meeting our debt obligations. They would point to the bond issue, saying it was oversubscribed. But, you know, you could also argue there's a ticking time bomb there. OK, Carling Cup final at the weekend. It's United against Villa. Come on, stick your neck out. I don't know, I think Aston Villa crying out for a trophy, it could be their time. Manchester United supporters, are they behind the team at the moment? Who knows? So, yeah, maybe a tight Villa win. OK, Tariq, thanks a lot. Tariq Panja there. Now